Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing great. Happy Friday. Hopefully, everybody's
Yes.
having a great morning so far, including yourself.
Yes. Amazing morning, guys. So happy Friday to all of you out there. Let's get into what we had yesterday. So again, a pretty decent day. Let's start with Rite Aid. Actually, this one was really nice, guys. A beautiful breakout right out of the gates. Let's get our 5 minute charts showing in here. We'll bring this in right there. So here's our 5 minute on this. Again, this pre-market action for Rite Aid was pretty neat. Again, you're not going to get anything that looks overly great or just amazing on it like a nice NASDAQ stock does, but this is a nicey stock. This is a beautiful pre-market action carried in lovely into the market open, guys. Volume comes in, beautiful. Two things going on here. Beautiful 5 minute open range breakout. Right here you see the pop, and also the breakout of the pre-market high is 21.31. We know how powerful this pre-market breakouts highs can be. You can see that right on there, and look at the continuation all the way up, not quite to our 22.62, but pretty darn close, 22.50. And then here just met a lot of resistance. Nice double top. Again, just a lot of possible plays here on Rite Aid yesterday. And then the volume comes in down here. You can see that happening. The next candle proves it. And you can see the beautiful drop down to VWAP and then some. Guess the VWAP cannot, again, another potential for a short here. Cannot get above VWAP. Stock is weak. And you can see there's multiple stabs to try to get above VWAP. Was not able to. Another drop right back down to low of the pre-market, to low of the day, excuse me, and then some. I mean, just amazing how clean this was yesterday. Pretty clean and easy to trade. Like, it was easy to spot the opportunities here as well. So hopefully you took advantage of that. Here's Roku, not as clean. It took a while to actually get going. You did get one pop here. It looked like this was going to break out of 350 and continue. It did. It went to 352. But compared to the move, right, this move is pretty big. And you can see here rejection, and then just gets pretty choppy in this area, back and forth action. Not a whole lot going on, but after 10:30, VWAP fails here, and you can see the beautiful drop here as well on Roku. So again, it dropped all day. Really just kind of just trickled down here on that 9 moving average, testing that 20 at times. But again, just a beautiful short after it failed to break higher. Now Tesla, I mean, I don't even know what to say about Tesla, guys. This stock finds a way to just tear it up. Today, they're also up another 1.6 today, 1.4. So this will be on our watch list. But just look at the action yesterday. It does drop down here. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, where strong stocks like this at the open can sell off. Some profit taking is happening. These guys are all-time high again. And then it's just look at it come back over here, back towards the high of the day. And then it breaks out lovely from the high of the day here, continues nicely on a beautiful trend of the 9 moving average, testing the 20 a couple of times, but really never sold off back down to the VWAP to test any of that action. So again, just amazing. And today already doing real nice. So again, strong stuff happening with Tesla. Apple, on the other hand, just again, it has a beautiful daily, and I'll show you that now. And we'll keep talking about Apple because this daily is just ready to explode at any given point. But yesterday was not the day. Look how choppy this was. It really did not give you any opportunities to do anything yesterday. It was just a pure mess. Again, just nothing really happened on Apple. Maybe some scalping opportunities right at the open, but even then, those were not looking great compared to everything else that we had. Here's AMD. AMD also not as great, and these candles are just, I mean, the overlap on each other is just insane, right? We're moving about 50, 60 cents on these candles here. And again, just the volume is there. It just did not trade well at all right out of the gates. And it never really got better. You know, it really never got better. It just kept chopping around. You got some moves here and there. This looks a little bit cleaner, but for the most part, it never gave you anything good. IQ was nice. IQ actually popped up here, rejected off 1810 quite nicely. They couldn't get above 1830. And then you get this drop out of nowhere, which is not something I really like. I don't want to be in a trade that just, you know, drops like this, but you do get this beautiful drop. And then from there, clearly sellers are taking control here. And you can see how great this thing dropped down nicely. So again, some pretty good opportunities yesterday. There's some real good chop like on Apple, but there were some real other ones like Tesla, Rite Aid, and IQ that actually traded very decent. So Norm, what do we have for ending this week as far as the SPY goes?
Not much, man. I got to tell you. First of all, I was away from the markets yesterday. I had some personal things going on,
Yes.
so I didn't trade. I didn't look at anything. I haven't I barely kept up with anything that was going on. Never turned on my platform and wasn't in front of my computer, so I'm a little bit limited. I do know some jobs numbers came out and such, and what happened there. Hit record highs yesterday, really strong. Not too surprised. The SPY is essentially flat.
Hmm.
Qs are up just slightly better than flat. Just kind of sitting here and consolidating. So there's really very little impactful economic data coming out today that I would worry about. The biggest thing I would say is more of a macro picture. The Moderna vaccine is anticipated to get approved for emergency use today, just like the Pfizer, and that should start shipping. Guessing based on the timeline of the Pfizer, that would be they start jabbing people on Monday. So be my guess, unless there's some. Thank you, Chris MC. Yes, my son was sick. That was a big part of it. So um, Gapper's list is kind of small. It's a little bit quiet, which is a good thing. Some of these days we've had nice up days and hit records, and then all of a sudden you see this pullback the day after. So it's kind of refreshing not to have that. And let's see where we're heading.
All right, sounds good. Guys, let's get into our gappers list this morning. Let's remove what we had yesterday here. Actually, let's check on what did ABNB do yesterday. All right, finally, 2 green days for ABNB. And you know what? They look pretty interesting for today as well. Possible continuation. So we'll keep that one on the list this morning. Let's remove this here. So off the top, let's make some space here first. I know we're going to keep Tesla and Airbnb looks good as a possible at least, right? So we'll throw Airbnb over here. They're looking good, up 4% this morning.
It
That's good.
is. I do want to. So I do want to point out, and that's part of it.
Hmm.
I don't even know what day it is right now, and that's part of not being around here yesterday. It is
Yep.
Friday. It is
Yes.
the third Friday of December, which means it's options expiration day. It also means, since it is the end of the month, end of the year, it is quad witching day. So that can have some impacts on how things move. Um,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
I'm not going to get into the weeds on why or how, but just keep in mind that things can move a little bit differently than you would overall expect, and that really comes into play later in the day. Not that it can't happen all day, but you'll see more funny business, like stuff pegged at a certain price sometimes just not moving. You think it's consolidating and it won't go anywhere, or something move in a direction that you didn't anticipate. So just keep an eye out for that.
Yep, absolutely. Guys, so we have two on here already. Tesla, as we mentioned, again, Tesla. Just look at the daily on it right now. And today is the day where they get into the rebalance happening with the SPY as well. Correct, Norm? Is that happening today? And I think these guys are being put into the overall SPY as well. So looking good here, guys. I'm sorry, the
Yeah,
S&P, which is
that's
SPY. Yeah,
rebalance. They that'll be on Monday. They get included. So
yeah.
we'll see.
So
It'll be interesting to see what happens after they do get included.
yeah, because they have been trading so well. I want to see how their trading action is going to be after this. Right now, pre-market, we're looking really good, guys. Up 1.5, 1.7 percent up. I'm sorry, 1.7% up, 1.5 million in volume there. We also have Airbnb. Their day looks great. Couple of green days here at possible continuation. We have that on there. Let's take a look at what's gapping up. We have beat here, and this one is not beating anything really. I mean, this pre-market is horrible. This is really bad pre-market action. They're up 17% with
Yeah,
223,000, but this is pretty bad.
that's a cash buyout.
Cash buyout. All right,
Yeah.
so skip on that one. Nothing to see there. Surf also not looking great, guys. 140,000 shares traded right now, up 11%. But the day we looked at this yesterday too. What did it end up doing? Yeah, this is just nasty. Let's skip this. Fubu is up here. They had a big day yesterday.
Fubo.
Fubo, is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
Fubo.
Fubu is clothing.
Yeah, I'm thinking right. Fubu is a clothing
Fu-
company with the guy from Shark Tank. Yeah, yeah,
Fubo
yeah.
is a streaming
It's
platform.
a Fubo TV, so I'm assuming
Yeah,
like football type thing, maybe a soccer or whatever. But
there's sports. Yeah.
Yeah, so this one they had a big day yesterday. Today they're up 6%, 247,000. Pre-market is not looking great. I'm concerned with the volume on this one. The day doesn't look exciting. I'm gonna skip on this. I don't think this is gonna trade well. Let's look how it did yesterday. And yesterday was just not great neither, guys. Look what you're getting here. No volume at the start. Then this volume comes in 1.9 million. You get these couple of pops here, and the spread doesn't look like it was great. But again, it's just not clean. Let's look at Laser. Laser this morning. This is a
You just
9.3.
you just pooped on my favorite one we've been through so far.
Which one is that one?
Fubo.
Fubo, you like this one?
I like it for a couple of reasons, and here
Yeah.
I'll give you the reasons why. Yes, I agree with you on a lot of what you're saying there. I like the daily, the weekly. It looks interesting. It's got 25 to 27% short flow. Excuse me, 23 to 25% short flow. So you've got maybe some people stuck in this. I think there've been a
Mm-hmm.
couple of articles about them. They got an upgrade 2 days ago out of analysts. Now they're starting to get up toward that price, but that price is kind of meaningless. We've talked about that in the past. This one's a good move. This one's
Yeah.
looking better than a lot. And I'm saying this, a little bit of reservation here. I've looked at the
Mm-hmm.
rest of this list, and a bunch of it's garbage.
Oh,
So
so
I would at
so
least keep this on a secondary for now, and we'll
right,
take a look
right.
at it and see
I,
if it does
I
something.
I agree, man. I mean, I'm just by the ticker names, they're not. We're not gonna look great. I mean, you're looking at Laser next. SNY, we know doesn't trade well. Macy's, it's just unless they have a great catalyst, they don't trade well. So yeah, we'll add this to a secondary, and yeah, I remember when I used to put my watch list together, and I had this was before being a moderator. I put my watch list together before Andrew would come on, right? I intentionally wanted to do it 45 minutes before. It would take me a little bit longer. And once I had my watch list together, Andrew would come on and say, "This is crap. This is garbage." And I'm like, wait, this is like half of my list, right? But then he'll go into explaining why, and you just explain why the opposite. So yeah, absolutely, that's why it's great to have different points of view. But yeah, Andrew will crap on my list, man, all the time. But you learn from that. So here we go, guys. So Fubo, let's keep that on there. Laser is next, 9.3 million. This one here, again, it's been active, guys. I had not had it on my list, so I cannot tell you how the price action is. But it just scares me to see how this daily looks and how this price action looks at the intraday. I mean, look at this. It's just I'm not gonna take a chance on it. Also, a 9.3 with only 295. You need a lot more than that. I think the fun happened already here. You had a couple of days that were great, and this is not pretty anymore. So,
I agree.
Airbnb, yeah, Airbnb we have. This one is on here. Oh, I thought Airbnb was a higher float. It's only 24 million. For some reason, I thought it was higher. But yeah, again, this one I think's got some potential, maybe. And again, but just not an easy stock to trade, guys. Some of these candles are $1 and change. The spread is 20 cents, which is not too bad for a stock at 153. But again, not great. So you got to really be careful with the number of shares you take. Again, you don't want to be stuck here with a full size. This thing can really move. Just let's look at a couple of days here. This was 125 to 141, right? Just on one day. So you don't got to take a large number of shares for this. Take a small amount, and I think you'll be good to go. Solo not doing much. Its pre-market action is pretty quiet right now. So we'll skip on that one. SNY, I know it's not a great trading stock. Is it
Crash.
foreign? It's foreign,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So just
Yeah.
look at this. Ugh. All right, Macy's. Macy's daily is interesting. The daily is not the pre-market, right? This is not great at all. But the daily does look interesting right in here. You got a couple of days with some good support that we're getting a bounce off from. Now, unless there's a strong catalyst, and even with a catalyst, we're not seeing anything great here. See now, after going through this list, Norm, I completely understand why you have Fubo on our list. It's the best one out of this list. Completely get it.
It's getting there. The
Yeah.
one thing I'll say on Macy's, so they did have some credit rating news yesterday, which is an okay I mean, it's not a huge catalyst usually, but these retailers, especially the ones that are really heavy in brick and mortar, people are worried about their debt and being able to remain solvent through the pandemic. They got an upgrade. I don't even know what the date is. They got an upgrade this morning, and they've got a high short float sitting at 36-ish%. So could be
Mm-hmm.
interesting, but it's not my favorite thing to trade. It usually doesn't move a lot, but I would keep it on my secondary, just in
I
my
agree.
peripheral vision, to see if it happens to start to squeeze.
Yeah,
Probably won't, but just, just in case.
yeah, I agree because the daily does look really good on this off this level here, so I do like that. So we'll put it on a secondary for now. Let's see what's gapping down today, guys. We have Meso. This one is down 40% here, so nice big drop for these guys. The issue with this is the volume. They don't get a whole lot of volume. Even yesterday, when they gapped down probably another around 30%, looks like, or more. Let's see what they did here. Let's go back. Let's see how they actually traded. Oh my God, this is. Yeah, is this it right here? Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, it's not, doesn't look that bad, but you know what? If you look in here, the volume is horrible, so the spread's got to be pretty bad. And the spread now is 20 cents plus
Yeah,
on a
their
stock that's
average daily volume's like 500,000 shares.
yeah, yeah, you're not gonna get anything good out of that. This is why your daily looks so bad. So we'll skip on this. GLSI is a 1.5 million shares flow, and this one is not doing a whole lot. Doesn't have great volume. Again, this one popped up nicely. After that, has not done anything great. Maybe the party's over and this thing wants to go back down to what, $6, whatever it was. But just be careful with this. This is not a stock to play around with. We do have shares for short. It is on short selling restriction, but again, this is a 1.9, guys, a 1.5. So I'm not even going to add this to my list. On these type of floats, you need a lot of volume, you know.
Look at that one day on the 9th of December that the thing went from $10 to 150 and then closed back down at 60-ish dollars.
It's insane.
And then, so yes, there are people that made a fortune on that move that really knew what they were doing. But the problem is, and we talk about this, especially with low floats, you see these huge moves, and then you get people that aren't too savvy, and they come in and they see this chart, and they say, "Oh my God, if I spent $10,000, I could have turned it into $160,000 that day."
Right.
And
Right.
that's, I mean, obviously, is it theoretically possible? Sure, I guess. But there's also somebody that bought it up there at 150 or 160 that are completely hosed on it. So you got to be really careful with these. And my rule is on these low floats, stay away from them. I mean, this is nothing but people hoping and dreaming. 6 months down the line, maybe it gets another catalyst and news comes out. But these things are dead a couple of days afterward, usually.
Yeah, just think about this. A pullback, right? You could be right. You could be long here and you could be right. And a pullback could be $15 to $10. So that would, imagine a $15 to $10 pullback in a matter of seconds. You have no chance to react. And your stop, even a hard stop, might not get hit if it's skipped, right? So depending on who's in front of you as far as orders. So just be mindful of that, right? There's some really big guys out there that will take advantage of this type of flow and hit those orders, and you're basically in bad shape. So we're not looking at that one, guys. Not on this Friday, not any day, really. Space, what do we have here? We are down 8.1 on Space, 2.4 million. So we're losing some traction here on Space. You can see here the consolidation of the last couple of days after a big gap down. We have not been able to recover from that. This area of support was great here. We're losing that now. Definitely great pre-market action. Yeah, we want to keep this one on here. Do we have shares for short? IB does. So yeah, we're looking good on Space today. BLNK, I don't like this stock, guys. I don't think it trades well. Yesterday looks like it had a good day. Let's take a look at it. Actually, yesterday had an amazing day. Not typically how it trades, but look how beautiful this thing was. So pretty good. Yeah.
What's the catalyst on Space, by the way? There's some I don't know that they're insiders, but they're people that have a lot of shares. It's like 113 million that they've registered for the ability to be able to sell them on the open market. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to. It doesn't mean they have. It means just it's essentially like a lockup period expiring for people in a new IPO, where that day comes after so many days after the IPO that they have the ability to be able to sell it, and that's what's happening on Space.
Okay, got it. So yeah, guys. So again, looking very active this morning. Let's see how that catalyst is going to turn out for them today. Next we have Mara. We looked at Blink, guys. I don't really like this one. I'm gonna skip on it for now. I had a good day yesterday, but for the most part, not really a stock. You know what? yesterday was so great that day without knowing what the price action looked like. Again, just looking at it after the fact, it looked very clean. It looked like it has some decent volume here as well, 500, almost 600,000 on some of these candles. So that's good. For the most part, average might have been around 300. Again, guesstimate there. So not too bad. So let's keep it as possible for now. We'll come back to it later. Here we have Mara. Mara is tanking at the moment. They're down 5.2. 1.4 million shares traded so far. I do not have shares for short. I do like this daily. Again, we're due for a pullback here. We might be seeing that now. I'll add it as a possible, but just because we don't have shares for short on this one. PLTR, one that has been pretty active for us. The consolidation continues on here, guys. Again, just continue to wrap ourselves around the 9 moving average on the daily, which has been bouncing back and forth between, it was 26 or so to 27.50. So interesting stuff there. I think this one could get going if it can break down or break up. Let's see. We got some good volume, 1.5. We just need to see if this thing is going to pick a direction. Down 3.8 right now, but stuck between right in the middle of this overall consolidation. So not sure if that's going to give us anything, but we'll take a look at that. Riot, what are we doing here? We are dropping down 4.3 this morning, 545. No shares for short, so I'm not going to add this one. VERU. Not great, guys. Pre-market is really all over the place. The dailies all over the place. Looking at our daily action from yesterday, doesn't look all that great. Again, without seeing the price action, hard to tell. BB here, what's BB up to? BB has a very interesting daily, not in a good way though. Again, it's just been chopping around here. Pre-market action is not looking great. Again, this is the one. Was it Google? Who they were getting? They were merging or in talks with someone.
Amazon over some
was it Amazon?
stuff, I think. I think it was Amazon, yeah.
Yeah. So look at the action that came in early December, and it did popped up. After that, hasn't done much the last 7 days or so. So I'm gonna keep it off for now. I don't like the way it looks. Here's Rocket Mortgage. We are getting a nice drop here, down 2.9, 445,000. Maybe a possible. Again, I don't see anything great there neither, and I think I'm gonna stop here, guys. Let's look at X. Yeah, doesn't look great. Norm, what do you like this morning? I know you like Fubo as a possible. What else do you have on your list?
Yeah, possible. It's kind of quiet this morning, man. I'm still looking.
Yeah, it is. This is why we only came out with 3 here, guys, and more possibles than anything. And some of these don't look all that great to begin with. But that's okay. All we need is two to three stocks that can trade very well, and you can make a decent day out of it.
Apple's got volume, but it's not really gapping. It's been active on the daily and it consolidated yesterday, so it might do something. But I wouldn't say it's A plus, opportunity there. We'll have to wait for the market to open.
Yeah. I think Apple is, again, this consolidation is great here on the daily. The last 2 days have not been great. But I think any minute now we might get some explosion here, and it will be good just to watch if we have the space, right? We only have 3 that we like so far. We can throw Apple on here because their daily does look pretty amazing. All right, let's start with Julian. UFC, Citigroup. What do we have here? So at the moment, they're pretty dead as far as pre-market action. They got 988, couple of block trades. Looks like this one right here. Not creating any type of action. Their daily is interesting. Just kind of been slamming against the 60.11. We're at that price target right now. Could be interesting, but again, we'll have to wait for this for the scanners or something, because right now we're not seeing anything great out of it, especially this pre-market action. Let's take a look at AMD. Ben is giving us AMD. Let's see what's happening there. AMD's daily looks interesting. Yes, pretty similar to Apple. I'm going to put it here as a possible as well. So that could be explosive depending how the market is going to react and open today. So there's 2 stocks that you could clearly tell that if the market shows any signs of strength into the market open today, Apple and AMD are 2 good ones to keep an eye on, because they tend to follow the market quite well at times, right? Not always, but at times they're on the verge of breaking out already. So they got a technical kind of pattern forming on the daily, so that can give it a little bit more juice to get going here, guys. PFE, you know how I feel about that one. Again, it's just a very difficult stock to trade intraday wise. I've seen some people take some really good swing trades, but as far as intraday, it just doesn't trade very well. So I'm gonna stay off that one. And their daily, I see what you're looking at. Their daily's hitting at this area of support. You're getting a little bit of a bounce there. I just don't trust this to trade very well in the intraday. That's my only concern with that one. And we're basing that of seeing the way it trades in the past, right? We had it on our list a couple of times. I think I've taken one trade. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and it turned out okay, but for the most part, it's just not that clean. AZN, this one doesn't trade well neither, guys. Look at this pre-market action, really all over the place. Look at the daily as well. So we're going to stay away from that one. Spread is good, volume is good, but just the way it's trading overall is not great. It's not clean. You're not seeing some good pre-market action there. Space we do have on deck. AMD we have as a possible. Apple we do have. Yeah, similar and interesting daily. Correct, Edwin. That's what I see on both of those, AMD and Apple. So if the SPY can give it a little bit of juice there, they can really get going. mRNA dailies, that's okay. Pre-market, we're not seeing anything good right now. We got some volume. And mRNA could be a hit or miss. Again, this thing could just take off any minute now. They have all the news that's going on with them, the vaccine and all this stuff. Like, I think, Norm, you said it best 2 days ago. You know, it's like they'll take turns, right, based on what news comes out. A lot of it's built in already. Moderna's been, you know, on the news a couple of times for the last couple of days. So it could be a hit or miss, guys. It really can. But this one is not looking all that good at the moment. Let's take a look at CYTH. CYTH. No, I don't like this daily at all. Pre-market's got some volume, 3.5, up 51%. But I don't like this daily, guys. It doesn't look great. Let's take a look at it. What float is this? 1 million shares float. So volume is there, but your pre-market action for this low flow is not trading all that well. It's got to get better, right? We like these ABCD patterns to form into the pre-market, going into the market open. You're not seeing that, right? It started to look like it, but then it's just been collapsing, just selling down here. Not a fan of it. So again, on low flow stocks, the daily is not as important as the pre-market action, right? You want your pre-market action and volume to be good, because we've seen some low flow stocks where they're just completely flat. Volume comes in for whatever reason, like you're seeing here, right? 3.6 is pretty good. But that pre-market action has got to be, you know, it's got to be clean. You can't have no holes in it. Here you have too many holes where it's just, you know, it's just not looking good, right? So be careful on that one. CNSP, CNSP, what do we have here? It's a low flow as well, CNSP. 6.5, 13 million shares float. So yeah, you got a little bit of action. Again, it's hard to explain without having all the examples in front of you guys, but you guys have been watching long enough. You know what we're looking for in these low flow stocks. This one doesn't have it just yet, right? Starting to collapse here. You got a couple of candles that have a bigger wicks than body. So again, that's concerning as well. The volume is there. It's just not trading all that clean. If we find a good example, I'll show you guys what we're talking about. But you can tell. Look, notice at the stocks that Norm and Brian trade in the pre-market when they're low flow stocks. Notice how clean and perfect they look as far as pre-market action. So that's what you want to see. You want to see that, and this is why trading low flow is a little bit difficult, because you got to be patient and wait for that clean pre-market action. It always doesn't happen, but when it does, you can tell that there's a difference happening there. Beat we looked at doesn't
actually take a small long on CYTH before you were talking about
CYTH. Did you take a small long on this, man? Yeah, where are you in at?
I don't 720. I don't think it's gonna work out.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Now I gotta pump up CYTH. Come on, CYTH, get up there. All right.
No. Don't get people coming after our doors there.
Yeah. Don't get in that. Let's see what happens to Norm. Yeah, let's see what happens to Norm, and then we can use him as a learning experience, okay? All right, here was United, guys. United not looking good. No volume right now, only 84,000. Again, just chopping around. It can go either way here. Let's just take a look at American Airlines. They tend to have more volume, also not doing anything. Let's look at some other travel companies, CCL. Just, yeah, nothing happening with these right now. It's just kind of stalling, going sideways here. Let's look at Plug. I saw that on both chats, and we're coming up at 9 o'clock, so we'll finish up soon here. Plug at the moment, yeah, daily, you know what, daily's good, positive continuation. Plug can definitely trade well. Wow, look at it yesterday. I did not have it on my list. Took off nicely here. Yeah, you know what, the daily looks good. I do like the daily. Let's add Plug in here on there as well. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to take a few from YouTube. mRNA we do have. Piton, let's take a look at that. Peloton this morning. Wow, beautiful daily, guys. Just look how this thing has been trading over the last couple of days. Real nice. Today they don't have much going on, but even without having much going on, they seem to be ending some pretty green days here, back to back. So daily looks great. Pre-market action not so much. And then look at it yesterday though. Yesterday was not a great intraday, although it ended green. it was not a good intraday play here at all. Just look at the choppiness here, right? So again, it was probably a great trade for swing trade right in here, 120, 125 for the breakout. But aside from that, not looking great intraday. DKNG, let's take a look at that. DKNG right now, they are, here we go, 65,000. So not a whole lot of volume. I like the daily though, possible breakout. Wait, that's their pre-market action. So their pre-market action is pretty dead. Wait for this one in the scanners, guys. All right, this one you can wait for it to hit the scanners. See if you can get going here above that 56. You got some room to run here nicely all the way up to, if we can get going, 58 looks good, right? But just wait for the scanners. Right now, it's not doing a whole lot. Very light on volume as well. Let's take a look at NEO. NEO, this is probably the lightest volume I've seen on NEO in the pre-market, 856. We're not even at 1 million yet, so that's very interesting. You know, that's just worth adding just because it's so low. It's not typical NEO here, so we'll keep an eye on it. mRNA, we do have ATNF. Oops. There we go. I don't like the daily on this. These type of stocks, I do not like too much. Oops. Did we lose ATNF? Okay, I typed it wrong. ATNF, there we go. So ATNF is a 12 million shares float. Again, be careful here, guys. 4.7 pre-market action. It's okay. It's not bad, but I just don't like the daily, and the pre-market action on this doesn't look all that great just yet. Could get nice, right? Let's see if it bounces off of here and gets going. Could probably try to hit this pre-market high, but just be careful on this one. All right, NEO's good. Beat, we looked at. I did not like Beat. I see a lot of you guys throwing that one out. Yeah, I didn't like this one. Again, the pop, guys, the pop is great. We're up 17%, nice. But aside from that, this pre-market action is not pretty at all. And the spread here is about 10 cents on top of that, so just be careful with that. All right, guys, that is what we have. Let's take a look at our community announcements, and we'll come back and fine-tune this list here.
All right, guys. Early in the week, we had Peter's How to Take Smart Trades, specifically talking about entering trades, most important part in my mind. Once you get past discipline and everything else, that should be posted in the Education Center. Then next week on Tuesday, 5 p.m. special time, because of his time zone, we'll have Eamon talking about how to find your edge. Very, very important part overall of trading. So, should be interesting. Then we have Nate on Wednesday. That should be posted in the Psychology Center. We'll take a little bit of a break. Then we'll have Mike on the 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern. His Module 5 talking about mental resilience for trading. All right, guys, if you want to participate in the BBT member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day. Mark it up. It should obviously have entries and exits on it, but then you mark it up with anything you can do to depict your strategy, what you were thinking, why you took the trade, and everything else. Post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. The winner will be announced each afternoon in the Closing Bell show, also on Twitter, and then the team will take all of the trades of the day that won that week over the weekend and vote on them for the trade of the week. That'll be announced Monday afternoon in the Closing Bell show and on Twitter as well. If you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24. That'll give you a discount off the 1 week intro membership. That is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. It does not auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. And it also gives you access to Carlos's onboarding class each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern live. The 40% off discount is still active for the Black Friday. So if you're interested in either becoming a lifetime member or upgrading your membership, you can still use promo code Black Friday 40 to get 40% off.
All right. Thank you very much, Norm. And let's hop into our stocks here. So CYTH ripping a little bit here, guys. So looking good, Norm. Looking good.
Most of mine. I got a decent little move on it to start the day.
Nice. Now, what's great about your entry is that, again, you're not chasing, right? What happens here, guys, for a lot of new traders will be getting in now. We'll be jumping in now, and now it's just not a good idea to get in here because you're going up against VWAP, right? So entry on these low flow stocks is the key. You gotta have a good entry. And with that said, also, we talk about scalpers, right? Because people are like, oh, scalpers, that's not really trading. When you're scalping, you have to make sure you follow all the trade management of scalping, right? That means is you get in, you have a tight stop, and you have your profit. You don't get in and then decide to move your stop down lower and trade it like if you were trading a regular, mid to large flow stocks. I've seen that so many times where trader chase a trade management plan to not match the strategy, and it's just disaster what happens next. So just be careful on that, guys. Stick to the plan. All right, let's start here. We only have 4 on our main list today. We have Tesla, we have Space, we have PLTR, which is looking really nice right now, and we have Apple. So let's start with our secondary list and see what we can pull off here and keep on our main list. So I think AMD has some good potential here. It's not looking good right now, but both AMD and Apple, if the SPY can get going, or if they can get going on their own, which is, unless they have a very strong catalyst, it's difficult to do. Those could be great. Their daily looks really good. Blink, I don't like, guys. I'm going to keep this one down here. Fubo at the moment, we do have shares for short on this one. Pre-market looks okay, so we'll keep this one on here. Daily yesterday was amazing. Airbnb, this one, again, for intraday trading, it's a little bit tough, but man, this thing looks good on the daily. We'll keep it here as a possible. Here is Macy's is starting to move here a little bit. Yeah, it's at 2 cents, not much, but good possible. I don't see anything great right now. Mara is moving. I just don't like this one as much. I do like it towards the bottom today, but which we cannot trade. I don't have shares for short, so we'll keep it on there. Rocket Mortgage, I'm not a fan of. Plug, maybe Plug today. Starting to get back towards the low of the day here. I mean, towards the below the pre-market. I'm sorry, the previous day close, excuse me. Maybe that one. Neo, I think Neo will be the one we can add on here. That'll be our number 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Neo's starting to pick up some volume there. Surprisingly, they are below 1 million shares at this pre-market at the moment. So yeah, this looks good here, guys. Let's keep an eye on Neo. I think that could be okay. So let's do some levels. Tesla is just ripping here. Tesla is sitting at 173.80 is your high of your pre-market, and that is your new all-time high. So no levels above that. And then towards the bottom, you're pretty much set, guys. Maybe you want to add the low of the pre-market at the moment, sitting at 647. Aside from that, you got tons of levels down here with this amazing consolidation and now the breakout, right? So just look at that volume coming in there nicely. Here is Space right now. So pre-market is looking good, guys. Let's see if it's going to trade well. Low of the pre-market 22.67. Towards the top, you have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. And then towards the bottom, there's another level here, low of the pre-market, right? And then down here, you have a good one too. There's 21.37, great area of resistance right over here, and some good support there as well. More resistance, then the breakout to the next level, 22.67. So that's what you want to see on there. A couple of touches on those levels. All right, PLTR is next, 1.8 million shares. This thing is dropping nicely. Now, what I like about this is, yes, we do have shares for short, so that's good. We're banging up against this level of support here that we've been holding for some time. Now, this volume is coming in very aggressively, so I wonder if we're going to hold that. The next level is going to be the low from 2 days ago. The next level after that will be this one right here, 24.34. A couple of days of support and resistance on there as well, so that's good. One more towards the bottom, just in case we have another level right on here. A couple of days using that as support at 23.63, and then towards the top, you can mark down the high of the pre-market, 22.65, and then above that, you have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and your previous day close as well. So looking pretty interesting here at the moment.
GME just started heating up a couple of minutes ago. You might want to take a look at that.
Oh, let's take a look at that. GME daily looks good. Good day yesterday. Breakout today. Looks like it wants to close this gap that it gapped down. What is on the 9th? This looks good. Any news on it? What do we have going on? I saw someone mention that.
I haven't seen anything. It looks like it just started in the last few minutes. I mean, really, volume just came in and started about 4 minutes ago. So I have not seen. I have not seen what the news is yet. Maybe somebody else has. Thank you, David, and YouTube for pointing that out. And that, once again, is the great thing about being in a community and having a bunch of people that you work with, being able to spot something, because it's not possible for all of us to watch the entire market any given day.
Absolutely. So we got some stuff going here, guys. I'm going to mark this level 1598, the low of this support area that we have here. The top of that's going to be up at 1717. So looking pretty good right now. So I'm not going to mark the pre-market high at the moment. We'll wait to see. Give this a couple of minutes to kind of see what it wants to do here as far as pre-market high. Towards the bottom, we have our lows from the last 2 trading days, highs and lows, previous day close. That's taking care of you there. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one. I put it up here because some of these I can take off. If GME is going to trade great today, which again, this is great volume. This is a good pop, up 4.8 out of nowhere. Something's up. We'll find out pretty soon what it is. All right, where we left off, Apple. Did we do PLTR? Yes, PLTR is done. Levels are all set there. Apple is next. Again, their day looks amazing. Do we have anything above here? I think we do. Yeah, going back into August, we do have a level here, 134, and we have 137. I think aside from that, you don't need to add any more levels. Maybe the pre-market high right over here at 129.36. And again, the daily here is what looks really good, guys. Let's see if the daily can get going here for Apple. AMD, same situation, beautiful daily, nice consolidation. We are sitting at all-time highs. This is the one that people are expecting for it to hit 100 before the year is out. Could happen, but again, possible. This one actually I could move down and keep GME. We'll keep GME here. We'll move AMD down. AMD was more of a filler for the most part, but I know that it can get going, so we'll keep a close eye on it. I'll be a top possible for us today. Neo is pretty much set, guys. Highs and lows all over the place here. We do have this 45.68 level. Where did we get that from? I don't know if that's relevant now. We got some more levels in the most recent times that are better for that, right? So as far as Neo, I think you're pretty much set. Levels towards the top, in case we get above this 46, which is your previous day close, we have 47.15. We'll throw a level there. And another one right up here, 48.29 for Neo. Towards the bottom, your cover, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. GME, let's take a look at that one. Oh yeah, we did level for this already, so let's just wait to see what the pre-market does here. We'll come back to that one after we see what our moderators are doing today. So let's take a look at our moderators list. I'm gonna bring this over here. All right, and we will start with Peter's giving us IPO MAS, MAAS, opening up today. Watch list for Amen is going to be PLTR, Piton, Twitter, secondary AMD, Neo, and ABNB. Again, guys, ABNB looking really good. I see a couple of people are taking swing trades on this, so good luck there. It looks very good for a swing trade. Again, not a recommendation, just telling you that it does look good because it's a major IPO that. Let's see if it does not have the fate that the other ones had, right? Uber, Lyft, these guys opened up and they just a couple of weeks ago they got to their IPO price. This one seems to have stopped bleeding at least, so hopefully can turn directions there. Tiffany likes Tesla, Space, secondary Neo. Mike likes high of day scanners as usual, and Airbnb and Piton. John likes Tesla, Airbnb, and Baidu as well on his list. So again, pretty good list there. Brian's coming in with PLTR and Airbnb so far. So and Brian's still putting his list together there. And he is on next, so he'll be breaking down what he's looking at and what else he finds as far as a watch list. Guys, I think we're pretty much set. Let's take a quick look at our list here. We have Tesla, which just continues to rip higher, making a new all-time high there. Space coming back after bouncing off this 2267. Daily's a little bit funky here. We do have a nice consolidation, nice drop today. We're in the middle of the highs and lows at the moment. Let's see what that does for us. PLTR, just again stuck between this consolidation. We would love to see this drop. Volume is nice, but the volume is not creating such a great pre-market action just yet. I did like this drop here. This was good, but we want this to continue, right? Give us a nice trend play towards 25 if possible. That would be amazing. We do have shares for sure. Here is Apple. Again, Apple looking to break out here. Hopefully that will be the play that I'll be looking for, a breakout here on Apple. Neo, for the most part, lighter on volume than usual, but good pre-market action. And then GME starting to get going. Let's give this one a little bit of time to develop its pre-market action here. So, Norm, anything else that we might have missed?
No, just my good friend CYTH this morning. So we'll see if anything continues with this.
Oh, very nice. Look at this.
A little bit of a position in this.
Nice. Look at the volume coming in here. Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is working out nice. Norm, you still in this, right? You still have some in this?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I've been in it, and partialed and added and such. So I've got a little bit of it left.
Very nice. Brian just confirmed he's also long CYTH, so that's good.
Nice.
Clay would like to know why Norm took a CYTH trade. Well, Norm, you could explain it. I mean, it's kind of clear here why you took it. I could see that, but I'll let you
Yeah, I mean,
explain it.
it put in a higher low on a double bottom, essentially between about 810, 815-ish, and then 845. Volume started to come in about, when was that? Volume, I mean, and volume's a lot higher now, so it doesn't even look like volume was coming in at that point. But when I first took it, it was at about 854. So it might be done now. I'm liking it less, but it's worked out. I'm happy with the trade. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is insane. 787 on that last 5 minutes. So we'll see what that does.
I thought it was done, but it looks like it still wants to go. I'm out of it. I just closed out the rest of my stuff, but because I'm content. But this good. I like how it's getting volume here. Just got a new 5-minute candle. The last one had almost 1 million shares traded in it, 750,000. So
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Well, it is Friday, guys. You know what that means. Trade safe. Have an amazing weekend. And just like we saw here, this example, what makes Norm take this trade comfortably and without any pressure is the size, right? He takes an appropriate size, and that's very, very important. We talk about this in our onboarding class. So if you have not joined, you could definitely join us there. We talk about ear quite often. And Mike, you know this here. We talk about our ear, make sure our ear is in check. And what that is: experience, account size, and risk tolerance, right? These three things have to be in check when you're taking a trade. So many people feel that they have a $40,000 account and they can take a trade of 1%. That means risking $400. But guess what? If you don't have the experience, you can't risk $400, even if it's 1% of your account.
Yeah.
So account size doesn't mean anything if you don't have experience. And then you have other people that do have the experience, that do have the account size, but they don't have the R, they don't have the risk tolerance, right? So they get into a trade that's risking $200, but they don't feel comfortable. They start sweating, they start overthinking things, they start making decisions that are not clear because their risk tolerance is not met at that price target. So again, these three things, guys, have to be in check. Your experience, your account size, and your risk management all have to be in the right place. So with that said, guys, trade safe, take appropriate size today, and have a great weekend with your family and friends. Follow your rules. Make sure you don't do anything that's going to cause you to be double thinking yourself and not enjoying your weekend coming up. So see you guys on Monday. Have a good one.
I wanna add one thing before we hop off real quick, because I've got a number of people asking where I found CYTH. You can set up scanners for these low floats, and I have some, but I just have the standard BBT up right now since I've had to post them for the room. It was on DAS, the NASDAQ active and gainers list that we used to go down all the time when we would come in with 50 things on the on our Gappers list from Trade Ideas. We used to go through that all the time, and I haven't been doing it as often, but you'll find them on there a lot, especially under the gainers. It was up, I think, 50-ish% at the time. So anyway.
Yep, man, I remember that going through that list when we had the time.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care. Trade safe. See you guys on Monday.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.